start just in an easy seat. It could be cross-legged, Sukhasana, you could be on your heels, you could be in a chair or on a block, right? So I always like just to mention in the beginning that this is your practice, right? So whatever I suggest is just a suggestion, right? You do what you want, you take what you like, you leave the rest. If it gets a little bit too much for you, no worries, back off, right? And that might be from the physical stuff or even from the breath that we're doing. Please just make this serve you, because we're all different. We all have different needs, and obviously I can't see any of you. So let's just take a little time here to settle into ourselves, to begin to just notice what it is we need today, how we're feeling today in our bodies and our minds and our energy and emotions. Right? We have all these different aspects that make up who we are. I think many of us just really identify with our physical bodies. We look in the mirror, oh, that's me, right? But we're so much more than our bodies or our personalities or our egos or our, status, right? Or whether we're a son or a daughter or a wife or a husband or a friend or an employee or an employer or all of those things, they don't matter when you're on your yoga mat, right? All that matters is finding, not all that matters, but core principle and essence of the practice is tuning into this deeper place inside, this center, this calm, right? And in that way, we're all the same. We all have this same inner peace, inner consciousness, which is really broad to encompass everyone and everything. So again, some of this stuff might be a little esoteric. So take what you like, leave the rest, yeah? So go ahead and close your eyes and just take a moment here just to notice how you are today. This is one day, it's one moment actually. And you may shift moment to moment in this practice, right? It does create some shifts. And then notice how your breath is flowing. And if it's possible, you can close the lips gently or set the tongue at the roof of the mouth so that all the breath just flows in and out of your nose. It's a healthier way to breathe. And see if you can elongate the spine so the top of the head rises. The head's not jetting forward. You can draw the chin back a little bit and let the shoulders get a little heavy. And just align your head over your hips in a comfortable way. And notice your breath. Right, and so we're just going to start to work a little bit with the breath to bring us a little bit more centered, a little bit more in touch with that interior place, that deeper connection to ourselves. So let's just start with a couple cleansing breaths. Breathe in nice and full. Through the nose, let the breath go. And just feel yourself land here in your seat, against your mat most likely, letting your shoulders drop, and do that one more time. A nice full sort of cleansing, opening breath. Let it expand you a bit. And through the nose, gently and smoothly let it go. Good, and then when all the breath empties, pull the navel in. Nice, and now just breathing into the belly. Let the navel expand outward, the sides of the waist get a little wider. And now as you exhale, just narrow the waist. Pull the navel in. And wait for the breath to empty completely. So there's a little pause at the bottom. Good, and then after your pause, again, just the belly fills. Side to side, front to back, let it widen and expand. Pause at the top for a moment. And as you exhale, slowly but surely empty all the breath. And at the bottom of the exhale, pull the navel back. You might get a little taller as you do that from root to crown. Pause. Good. Belly filling on your inhale, widen it. Let it get big. Nobody's looking, it's all good. Pause when it's full enough. Keep the chest really still if you can. And as you exhale, let the breath empty. Let the waist narrow. And then pull the navel back. Squeeze all the remaining air out. Pause. Good. Now we're going to take it into the chest. So this time, as you inhale, let the belly rise and expand. Pause when it's almost full. Just pause. Feel that. Good. And then let the chest widen and expand. So you'll notice you can take in more breath. And pause when that's full. And then as you exhale smoothly and slowly through the nose, let the chest soften. And then let the belly empty and pull the navel back and pause in that emptiness. So if your pace is different than mine, no worries. Belly expands as you inhale, just enough so you're going to pause halfway. Feel that. And then filling the chest to complete the inhale. When you're all the way full enough without strain, pause. And then exhale from the chest, let it soften, let the shoulders drop. Exhale from the belly. When you're empty, the navel pulls back. You're gonna maybe feel the pelvic floor muscles turn on. Good, pause. Let's do that once more. Belly expands as you inhale. Side to side, front to back. Pause at the halfway mark, notice. And then chest expands and maybe rises to finish the inhalation. When you feel nice and full, pause again and just notice. And then emptying the chest. Shoulders relax, face relax. Emptying the belly. When you get all the way empty, draw the navel in. Pelvic floor muscles might lift a little. Good, pause. And now let's just take a nice free breath in. Let it go anywhere it wants. You've opened up a little more space now. And open the lips this time. Let it all go. Allow yourself to land, settle, and soften. Maybe a little pause there in the emptiness just to explore that inner world. Good. And then with the lips closed, allow the breath to flow smoothly in and out of your nose. And just notice if it's changed from how it was in the beginning. If it hasn't, that's okay. If it has, that's okay. All right? There's no judgment. We're just noticing. But we've created a little bit more space, a little bit more freedom internally to explore, right? So often when keep the breath just flowing smoothly, often when we're constricted, we're also constricted in our breathing, and then we don't have as much room to receive, right? So we've made a little space. So in today's practice, I'm going to invite you, if you want to play a little bit with your breath as we move, right? And so each movement will have a breath associated with it, but if you'd like, after an inhale, you can just take a temporary pause to feel it. And if you'd like, after the exhale, you can take another temporary pause just to feel it. It's so subtle, right? And in those pauses between the in-breath and the out-breath, there's often spaciousness. There's often, again, possibility. There's less constriction. So play with that if you'd like to. I'll probably call it out somewhere along the way. And if you don't want to, no worries. So again, sitting nice and tall, letting the breath just flow smoothly, pausing if you want or not, completely up to you. Let's take the shoulders in a few circles and just loosen up any tension we may have accumulated in the neck. So you can go front to back, back to front. You can do them independently. You can move the head and just loosening up a bit, yeah? Good. And then let's take the right hand to the floor next to us. Put a little bend in that elbow. Lift the left hand all the way up as you root into that left sit bone, and then just lean to the right. And just draw that bottom shoulder down away from the ear. We're making a little space in the intercostal muscles, the left side of the rib cage there. Good, and then the hand comes back up to center and next to you, right? So left hand down, right hand lifts, inhale, find that length through the right side of the body. Bend the bottom elbow, drop the shoulder, and lean over. And just feel the breath move into that space you're creating. You can always pull the navel back at the bottom of the exhale to support the low back as well. Right hand lifts up and comes down. Take the hands behind you. You can interlace fingers or hands on the floor. Draw the shoulders back. Let the shoulder blades get a little closer as the front of the chest opens up. So the gaze can come up or forward or down. See what feels best on your neck. Can you just explore? You might even turn one ear to one shoulder and loosen up the neck. And let the breath flood the upper chest here just for one cycle. Maybe a pause at the top, maybe not. And release the breath. Release the hands, pull the belly in, and then on your inhale, just reach up. Find length through the back body here. Fold forward as you exhale, hands to the floor, maybe elbows to the floor, maybe forehead to the floor. See what feels good. And notice if your hips lift away from the floor, can you anchor them down? Can you enjoy a little bit of length now in the back body, behind the shoulder blades, behind the heart, maybe into the low back? I like to sway a little side to side. See if that feels nice for you. And then when you're ready, just slowly come back up to your seat. And we'll make our way to hands and knees. So just a short little breath practice in the beginning, right? The breath is a really nice tool to link the mind and body together. It sort of links the outside world with this inside world, right? We breathe in, we breathe out. There's a connection there, which I just love playing with. So let's do a few cat-cow poses here. Belly's going to drop. Hands pull toward the knees without actually moving to extend the heart forward. Inhale here. Yeah, and then drop the head, round the back. And as you exhale, there at the bottom, pull the navel in. You might feel a little more space in the back body. And again, when you're ready, inhaling. Heart forward, shoulders back, so the breath can come all the way up to the collarbones or chest. Pause if you want. Round in as you exhale, and when the breath empties, maybe a little pause, pulling the navel in. Neutral spine, breath still flowing, left toes to the back of the yoga mat. So lengthen out that left leg. I like to rock the heel a little forward and back, open up the back of the leg, the back of the knee there after a long sit. Good, and then just float the foot off the floor, but lengthen it back. Pull the hands toward that knee on the floor to extend from heel to head a bit there. And then rooting into the left hand, if it's comfortable for you. Right hand reaches forward, thumb up. And imagine someone's far in front of you and you really want to touch them or shake their hand, yeah? And then find that length along the diagonal from hand to lifted foot. Keep the breath flowing. Gently just hug the navel in at the bottom of each exhale to give that low back a little more support. Good. And one more breath cycle here. You can pause at the top and bottom if you want to. When you're ready, hand comes back down, knee comes back down, and then right toes to the back of the mat. So again, I like to rock the heel a little. So just because I like something doesn't mean you're going to like something, right? You might like things I don't. So just play around a little if you want. You can always add on or skip. Foot floats up, heel presses back. Hands kind of hug toward the knee on the mat to lengthen the torso. And then right hand presses, left hand comes forward, thumb up. So just be aware this right shoulder is down a little bit away from the ear. The belly's lifted a little away from the floor. And the head's not drooping, right? The back of the head is lifting. And you're just finding length. You're finding your breath. You're staying so present and aware that you're not holding the breath or doing too much, right? So you determine how much you press into the floor with that right hand. The flow of breath. Yeah, and we'll go through one more cycle here. Pausing anywhere you want. And releasing the hand, releasing the knee. Good. From here, we're just going to stay on our knees and stand up on our knees, right? So knees are on the floor. Probably shins are on the floor. Toes can curl under or point. Totally up to you. Hands come to your hips here. So with your thumbs kind of behind you, can you guide the tailbone downward, draw the head backward, pull the navel in, and let the elbows get a little closer as you maybe lean back. Just be aware you're not jetting the hips forward, right? Hips are right above the knees there. And there's a nice amount of width and spaciousness in the front side of the body. If this feels like it's compressing your low back, pull the navel in even more. And then if you want to lean back a little and work your quadriceps, feel free to do that. And then come back up. And maybe again, so you can play here. So on the inhale, you'd lean back. And on the exhale, you'd come back up. Good, arms reach up. Inhale, lengthen. Nice, hands to the floor in front of you. As you exhale, back to hands and knees. We're gonna curl under the toes and make our way to downward facing doggy pose. Kind of like to rhyme sometimes just because it's fun. So feel free to pedal the knees a little, wiggle the head a little, right? Just loosen up into the shape. Keep the breath flowing throughout our practice. It's going to keep you connected to your body. So we always want to keep our awareness on what's happening here and now on our mat, right? The mind wants to take us away all the time, and we just come back tenderly and gently, friendly attitude. Enjoy the length as the heels dip and the hips lift and the heart melts in and the head just dangles freely. You can wiggle the head anytime you need to. All right. From here, we're going to lift up the right foot behind us, three-legged dog. And just drive the inner heel back. See if you can stay equal in the hands. Draw the armpits a little closer and draw that left thigh bone back. Good. And then go ahead and turn the right toes out to the right so the hip is going to lift. Bend the knee, aim it up. Good. You can wiggle the foot. Drop that right shoulder a little bit. Maybe wiggle the head. And then extend the foot back again. Inhale, three-legged dog, lengthen it, and set the foot down, downward dog. Second side, left foot up behind you, three-legged dog. So right heel dips, left inner heel drives back, right thigh draws back, drop your head, press the floor, soften the shoulders if you can. Find that length, and then turn the left toes to the left so the hip is going to lift. Bend that left knee, aim it up. Most likely the left shoulder is going to lift. Draw that left armpit down. And just breathe, feel it. Heavy head, steady breath. Good, extend the left foot back. Toes point down, and then downward facing dog. Lift both heels, come to the tippy toes, bend your knees, look to the hands. When you're ready, just start a walk to the front of your yoga mat. My shirt's hiking up. Halfway up is your inhale, lengthening your spine, rolling the shoulders back. Fold forward as you exhale, drop your head. Feet about hips width apart. Your knees can bend a little if you like. You can take one hand to each elbow if you like and sway and just loosen up a bit. Feel the weight of the head tractioning the spine. Go easy. Good. Take your hands to your hips. Come into a flat back. I like a little bend in the knees here. It helps the spine to extend. Spine, not spined. And then elbows back, shoulders down, right? Bend the knees a little more. Let the hips dip. Come toward chair pose. Take an inhale. Pull the belly in at the end of your exhale. Reach the arms up as you inhale. Maybe sink lower. Stand up on your exhale. Hands to the heart. Nice. All right, let's roll the shoulders back and down. Lengthen from heels to head. And as you exhale, each time you exhale, if you want to work your core muscles a little bit, and be a little bit more present and engaged, you can pull the navel in and take a gentle pause. Totally up to you. Next time you inhale, just reach up. Lean back if you want to. You can pause, remember? Fold forward as you exhale. Let your head drop. Let your hands drop. Come halfway up as you inhale, so that might mean you need to bend your knees. We'll go to the plank pose on the exhale. 1 foot at a time, steps to the back of your yoga mat. Breathing in here, shoulders down the back. Lowering to the floor as you exhale. Knees can drop first. My mic's in the way. Roll it up to an easy cobra as you inhale. Hips are on the floor. Roll it down as you exhale. Pull in the belly. Plank pose, or hands and knees, and downward facing dog. Okay, we're just going to flow through one round of that, letting the breath guide you through. And if you do want to take the little pause, it'll give you a little extra time for the movements. Bend the knees, lift the heels, look to the hands, inhale. Walk or float to the top of your mat, exhale. Halfway up on your inhale, you can feel it at the top if you want. Fold in half as you exhale. Start to bend your knees, pull your belly in, arms lift, chair pose, inhale. Press to stand, exhale, hands to your heart. Pause, pull the belly in there. Reach up, inhale, open up, free it up, maybe a pause. Fold as you exhale, drop your head, pull the belly in at the end, maybe a pause. Halfway up with hands down, inhale, that might mean the knees bend. Step back plank pose. Exhale, hug the belly in. Lower all the way to the floor. Roll it up to cobra. Your breath pace might be different than mine. Roll it down, hug the navel in, press to plank or hands and knees, and downward dog. Beautiful. Next, inhale, right foot lifts up behind you, three-legged dog. And just step it up to the front of your yoga mat as you exhale. You can carry it up there if you need to. Stay on the back toes, put a little bend in the back knee. And on your inhale, we're gonna rise up to crescent pose. So option is to have the back knee on the floor. Please do that if you need to do that. Otherwise, it's lifted but a little bent. So the navel hugs back, the arms lift up. We're gonna cactus the arms today. So you can look side to side, elbow to elbow. Make sure the upper arm bones are parallel to the earth. So you're gonna drop the shoulders, but lift up the elbows. Palms can face forward. And then can you draw the elbow tips back and let the heart open nice and wide? Breathe into it. Feel the expansion. Feel if it's difficult to pause. You don't have to. But at the end of your exhale, I want you to hug the belly in a little bit more. Sink lower into the legs. And then reach up as you inhale. You can look up if you want to. Hands come to the floor as you exhale. Step back, plank pose. Inhale. Pull the belly in and lower down. Exhale. Cobra's the inhale, nice and easy. Feel it. Release as you exhale. Hug the navel in to press back to plank or hands and knees, and downward facing dog. And then in the stillness, when we're not moving from pose to pose, feel the movement of your breath. Second side, left foot up behind you. Inhale, three-legged dog. And just step it up to the front of your mat as you exhale. Take all the time you need. Draw the heel under the knee, bend the back knee, and on your inhale, you're just gonna rise up to crescent. If you feel real wobbly, move the left foot over to the left. Bend the back knee so you can draw the navel in and sink as low into the legs as you want, or knee on the floor. Cactus your arms again. So a lot of people, they drop their elbows and lift their shoulders, right? You want to drop the shoulders and lift the elbows. So you can look side to side, which is also nice for the neck. And then widen the collarbones. Draw the elbow tips back. Can you get the shoulder blades closer together? Can you drop those shoulders? Can you let the chest expand? On an exhale, I want you to hug the belly back, 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 back. Maybe sink lower into the legs. And then on your inhale, just reach up, free it up. And hands come down as you exhale. Good. Plank pose, step it back, inhale. Lower if you want to on the exhale. You can just hold the plank too. Totally optional. Roll it up, inhaling. And roll it down, exhaling. Hug the navel in to press back to plank or hands and knees. And make your way to dog. Beautiful, you guys. So this is a really nice time if you want to drop into a child's pose. Or just work your dog a little bit. Armpits come a little closer. Inner shoulders soften. Heels disappear behind the feet. Thigh bones draw back. Feel the breath. Good. If you're in child's, you might want to make your way back to dog. And when you get there, bend the knees, look forward and inhale. And just walk to the front of your yoga mat. We'll come halfway up again, inhaling. Lengthen, draw the shoulders back. Fold in half as you exhale. And through chair pose, bend the knees, lift the hands, inhale. Pull the belly in as you exhale, sink a little lower. This time on your inhale, we're gonna rise to stand. And exhale, hands to the heart, navel in. We're gonna play with a little balance today. I'm just checking the time. Sometimes I go over. All right. Good, little balance. So find your gaze, right? When we balance, when we work any balancing poses, we want to steady our gaze. If the eyes are all over the place, we're most likely to fall. And when the eyes are all over the place, it usually also means thoughts are racing. So fix your eyes on one point and find a drishti. They call it a drishti. You're going to root into your right foot to begin. Just feel the earth beneath it. Feel that length from the heel to the head. Pull the belly in. And on an exhale, just lift the left knee, right? Just bring it toward you. Now, I like to grab it, pull it in a little, wiggle the foot at the ankle, and lengthen from heel to head. If that's too much, you don't have to. And you're going to bring your hands to your hips. You can guide the left hip down if it lifted with the knee. Good. And then you can keep the knee bent and reach the arms up. And this might be enough as you hug the belly in and align yourself over the standing foot. If you want a little more, you're going to straighten the left leg. Reaching the heel forward, pulling the toes back, dropping that hip, pressing into the standing foot to lift the lifted foot. And pull the belly in with each exhalation. We'll just take 2 more breaths. It's not easy to lift the foot, right? So soften and deepen the breath. As you exhale, you're just going to bend that knee without touching it if possible, right? Hands can come back to your hips if you like. Now you're going to hinge forward with your heart and extend that left leg straight out behind you. So it's nice to gaze forward here so the heart lengthens out. You can draw the elbow tips back. Optional to take both hands to the standing thigh to help lift the heart. You can spread your arms wide, or you can come back to the previous pose, sort of, reaching the arms overhead as you extend that left heel back. Feel free to bend the standing leg. We're going to bend it in a minute anyway. Just take 1 more breath here, lift the back heel a little higher, and then take the left toes all the way to the back of your yoga mat. We're back to crescent pose. Rise up on your inhale as you sink low into the legs. Hands to the floor as you exhale. Pause, you guys. Lean into the left hand and just lift up the right hand. Take a little baby twist. You can scissor the feet together. You can look up to the right hand. Good, and then right hand comes down. Step back with the right foot, inhale. Option is to pivot over to the outer right foot, lift the left hand, or hold your plank. Either way, it's all good. Lift the hips away from the floor. The left arm can reach overhead if you want a little more. Breathe. Pull the belly in. Left hand up and to the floor. Plank pose, inhale. You can lower down or go to down dog as you exhale. And if you lowered, you're just going to roll up to cobra. Roll it down. And then make your way back to plank and dog, or hands and knees and dog. Very nice. We're going to bend the knees and look forward on the inhale, and again, walk forward through your exhale. We have a second side to do. Halfway up, inhaling, folding in half, exhaling. Through chair pose, bend the knees, lift the hands, inhale. Stay for the exhale to hug the belly in and maybe sink lower. Then on your inhale, you're going to rise up and reach up and open up. And hands to the heart. Exhale. Good. Relax your shoulders. Pull your belly in. Stand tall. Root into your left foot. Steady your gaze. You can look at something different or the same. And just be aware, right? If your eyes start to move, it's really an indicator that the mind is moving, yeah? So steady the gaze. Explore what it is you're looking at. Feel the earth beneath your left foot there. Hands can come to your hips if you like. And when you're ready, on an exhale, the right knee lifts. So again, I like to pull the leg in a little bit and lengthen. Draw the head back. And so that might feel good for you, especially after we did the work on the right foot to loosen the ankle joint there. And now hands can come to your hips if you did that, right? And draw that right hip down. So feel free to stay here and lift the arms. You're going to hug the belly in. This is already working the core and working your balance, yeah? If you want. Remember, there's all kinds of options here. If you want, right leg extends out. So the tendency is for the right hip to lift. So you drop the hip. The tendency is also to lean back a little to try to lift the foot higher. Keep yourself aligned over the standing foot if you can. Soften the inner shoulders, soften the face, soften your gaze, and smooth out your breath. It's not easy, I know. So it's a really great opportunity just to practice being calm and patient, coming back to that internal place of calm so that you can access it when things get a little challenging, yeah? Good, one more breath here. Good. On the exhale, you're just gonna bend the knee, right? And that's gonna help to release the low back a little bit. So remember, hands can stay up or come to your hips, and you're gonna hinge forward and extend that right foot straight back. So it basically is the same shape, yeah? Except with different legs. So that right hip might wanna lift. You're gonna roll it down. Right hands can prop you up on the standing thigh. Arms can come out to the sides for balance, or you can reach the arms overhead. And if, like me, you fall a little bit, smile and keep breathing, right? How do we learn? Unless we fall a little, right? It's all good. It's kind of fun when it happens, actually. So lengthen that back heel away, lift it up a little, take another breath. Good, and then land it to the back of your yoga mat and arms come up, crescent pose. Good, so sink into those legs, pull the navel in, reach up nice and high, take a nice sweet opening breath. And hands come down as you breathe out. You're gonna lean into the right hand and lift up the left hand, take a twist. So can you root into that front big toe there so the knee doesn't splay out too much? You can look up to the left hand if you want to. And then release the hand down. So optional to step that left foot back, hold your plank, or roll to the outer edge of the left foot, stack the right foot on top and lift the right hand. So we can make it as hard as easy or as easy as you want, yeah? Hips are lifting, breath is flowing, arms are spreading. Beautiful. Right hand comes back down, plank pose, inhale, and downward dog, exhale, or through cobra, your choice. Nice, you guys. So wherever you are is perfect. You're gonna make your way back to hands and knees. Crawl the knees forward so we can roll onto our backs, because holy cow, time flies when we're having so much fun, when we're so present. So roll onto your back. I always go a little over, I apologize. Hug your knees to your chest if you like. Let the low back lengthen. Let the head fall heavy. Maybe rock it side to side. A little spicy this morning. All right, let's just work the core a little bit because we were doing that with the breath. And I want to just support that a little bit more here. So optional to reach the arms overhead, which is going to make this a little bit more challenging. And if that's too much for you, no worries. Arms just rest by your sides, yeah? But when you reach the arms overhead, you might feel the front ribs lift, and I just want you to hug the front ribs toward the floor. You're gonna feel your core turn on, right? And so just take a nice free breath here with the knees bent toward the chest. Let the belly and ribs expand. Pause if you want, and then as you exhale, the chest softens, the front ribs hug down, the bottom of the exhale, pull the navel in and pause. And you're going to do that with the breath as we start to move the legs a little bit. So I'm going to just talk about it for a second and then we'll do it. If your low back feels cranky at all, you're going to keep your knees bent. We're going to straighten one leg. If your low back feels cranky, you're going to lift the foot straight up or at a diagonal. If your low back feels safe enough, you're going to extend the foot forward, hovering it away from the floor, right? So with the knees bent, breathe into the belly and the chest. And then breathe out and hug the belly in as you extend the left leg forward, up, or at a diagonal. Good. Take the knee back in. Inhale. As you exhale, you empty. You pull the navel in and you extend the right leg forward, up, or at a diagonal. Back to center. Inhale. Exhaling, so your pace is fine. Belly pulls in, left leg extends, lower high. Inhale back to center, belly and chest. Exhale as you empty, pull the belly in so you support the low back and extend the right leg out. Good, inhale back to center. Exhale, navel hugs in before you extend. Relax the neck and shoulders. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hug the navel in. So there's a temporary pause here as you extend. Good, and inhale back to center, and one more time. Exhale, extend. Now hug that right knee toward the chest. Pause, so grab it. Go ahead and lift your head if you want. If you want a little more, you'll reach the hands toward the bottom foot. Get the shoulder blades off the floor. I know, just because why not? Little spicier. If you want, you can straighten the lifted leg. Don't have to. Go ahead and bend the knee again. Take the left knee in, roll back, head drops. Good, arms overhead, inhale. Right leg extends out, exhale, navel in. Go ahead and grab that left leg. Hug the knee in, lift your head. Reach the hands to the bottom foot. High or low, doesn't matter. If you want, the left leg can lift up, totally optional, shoulder blades off the floor. Go ahead and bend the knee, and both knees back in, roll to your back. Let it go, release it. Little rock side to side, beautiful, you guys. Take the feet onto the floor. Yeah, and then let's just open the hips a little. We didn't get into the hips today in today's practice, so just thread the needle. Left knee, you can kind of press it forward a little bit and hug the right leg towards you. So you can clasp behind the hamstring there or the front of the shin, whatever feels best. Be aware that the back of the neck isn't jammed, the chin isn't jutting up, so you want to lengthen the back of the neck there, and then soften the jaw, close the eyes, and just let the breath be free. Feel what's going on in your hip. Let your shoulders and face muscles completely relax if you can. Yeah, and then that's enough. Let's just uncross, recross, right ankle on top of left thigh. You can draw the knee forward a little with your hand, and then hug the left leg towards you. And again, just consciously aware of your breathing, aware of softening the muscles of the face and jaw and shoulders. And just bringing your awareness to that hip. Bringing your awareness to the breath. So consciously breathing in and out, smoothly. Back of the neck long. Good. Let go of the left leg, uncross the ankle, and let the knees drop apart as the soles of the feet touch together. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes here for a moment, and just one cycle of that breathing we did in the beginning. So letting the belly rise up to meet your hand as you inhale and pausing. And then letting the chest rise up and expand. And pause. And then empty all the breath. Let the chest soften, let the belly soften. Pull the navel back when you're empty and pause. And then let the knees come up together. So you can feel the core muscles working to lift the knees there. Good. Hug the right knee to the chest. Extend the left leg out on the floor. Open the right arm to the right. We're going to take a final twist. Draw the right knee across your body to the left, and let your right arm get a little heavy. Let your right knee get a little heavy. Close your eyes and turn the head any way you like. And then see if you can relax the fingers and toes. And don't worry about how you're breathing or where you're breathing. Just notice your breathing. And does it get a little stunted or a little compressed anywhere? Right? And can you just smooth it out? And with each exhale, can you just relax a little bit? Can you just let go a little bit? Can you just settle in a little bit? And then to come back up, you're going to pull the belly in at the bottom of an exhale, right? And you draw the right knee back to the chest and roll onto your back. And then go ahead and switch off the legs. Left knee in and right leg out. Open the left arm and guide the left knee across. And so often when we first come into some of these shapes, there's a little rigidity, there's a little compression, right? And then with awareness and softening into those exhalations, your body will start to let go of gripping and holding and pressure and tension and rigidity and compression. So just let the breath help to free things up, right? Bring a little bit more spaciousness and freedom in. Let things open. And as you breathe out, let things go. Let things soften. Right? Can you smooth out the breath? Can you soften the eyes? Nice, you guys. On an exhale, the navel pulls in to roll onto your back. So left knee back to the chest. Yeah, and then both knees come in. Again, you can take a little rock. I like to bring the knees into a couple circles in both directions. Some of you might want to grab a little happy baby here, or a little wide-legged straddle to release the inner thighs as well. Feel free to do whatever else you need to do. When you feel ready and complete, so I like to wiggle my ankles and the head a little bit. When you feel ready and complete, let yourself land into Shavasana, right? Let yourself rest. Right, and then get comfortable. Get any fidgeting out of the way. You might slide the shoulder blades down. You might either close the lips or let the tongue rest at the roof of the mouth again, just so you can start to train your body to breathe through your nose. It really does make a huge difference in your health, in your sleep, all of it. And again, if that's too much, just ignore that suggestion. And allow your eyes to relax and close. Allow the jaw to soften and allow the whole body just to get a little heavier toward the floor, right? So you're no longer resisting or struggling. You're just surrendering and softening. And let's take a final in-breath, filling the belly, filling the chest, and pausing when you're all the way full and complete. And then letting all the breath slowly seep out. And pausing there at the bottom. Now let the body do the breathing for you. And see if you can just sort of connect your awareness to your breathing without changing it, without forcing anything or trying to do anything, just becoming aware of the way your body breathes. You may notice movement in the belly or chest. You may notice movement of the air through the nose or nostrils. Whatever you're noticing is a beautiful thing to notice because you're linking your mind to your body. So just staying connected, staying present, and so soft. And maybe you can just appreciate that your body breathes for you all the time. You don't have to do anything. Maybe you can appreciate a little relaxation time, not having to do or move or force or get anywhere or be anything other than you are in this moment. And just allow yourself this time to relax, to restore and rejuvenate. If you want to let your mind slip away from noticing the breathing, that's fine. Let yourself drift off. But as you drift off, can you drift in? Can you notice this spaciousness inside, this quiet or emptiness within? And if you want to just observe the gentle, natural pauses between the in-breath and out-breath, you might notice that it also helps to create a little bit of a pause between all the different thoughts that stream in and out. And so there's a little bit of peace there that you can access. A little quiet, a little freedom. So I know that for many of us, it's difficult to stay quiet and still. But I'm just going to invite you to do so for another minute if you can.